get started. So we'll go in 3, 2, and 1. Well, Mayor Bob, welcome back. Welcome to 2020. Very first and foremost, of
Right.
course. The weather's just as, we ordered it here the last couple of weeks. Snow removal's been tricky at times, but hey, you're getting it done down here in Marshfield.
Yeah, it's been very interesting the last couple of days. It's just been, it hasn't been snowing heavy, just all day and all night. So this morning when I went out with the snow plow or whatever, or the snow thrower, 4 inches out there. So that's still some of a California boy gets still getting used to.
Yeah, this isn't what you signed up for when you moved
Right.
here. You signed up for the good beer, you signed up for the good cheese, you signed
Right.
up for all that. You didn't sign up for the snow, but you get it anyway, right?
You get used to it.
Yeah, you get used to it after a while.
Yep.
And you've been here now a couple of years in this post, so safe to say you're getting used to the mayor's chair, even though it's a little different from the one that you started. But
Sure.
things are really humming along here downtown, aren't they?
Yeah, it's interesting when you're a new mayor. It takes about a year to kind of figure out, how to run a meeting and how to keep in a meeting efficient and not get off, of course, and really get a grasp of the committees. And so now this is it's really quite fun. We're really going to town right off the bat in economic development within the city. We have the Pizza Ranch has come and they're looking to open up, weather permitting, in spring. But they've been out there feverishly getting that up and ready to go. And the Hampton Inn, that did finally make its way here, and they broke ground. And I mean, even through, November and December, when we did have a pretty fair amount of snow and some very cold days, I mean, they were out there digging the basement and everything else. So that's going up. And we just in one of the committees that I'm on as or commissions as mayor is the Planning Commission. And last Tuesday we just had a company come through. We don't know, they don't tell you who, but it's to put 3 separate businesses on a parcel, and 2 of them want open air eating. That is very exciting. But we just have to wait and see who it is, and they, those kinds of companies wait until the very end. So there's a pretty fair amount of development. Last year I think we had, in the city of Marshfield, we had 7 business closings, and it's always sad when you see a closing. But I believe there was 13 new business openings and 18 expansions. So when you look at the numbers there, we are really on the right trend.
Yeah, you're definitely on the right side of some of those numbers, as you'd say, from last year and now going into this year. A couple of them I want to ask you about. First off, because I am just a Pizza Ranch fanatic myself, it's part of the requirement actually of wherever I may make my home is the presence of a Pizza Ranch. That type of eatery, it brings in families. It brings in all different types, and it's certainly something that has been successful elsewhere, and I'm sure the studies are showing it's going to be no different here, right?
Yeah, the studies have shown that. We're excited about that development, and it seems like the Pizza Ranch is expanding throughout the Wisconsin area, and we're excited about this one. It's going to be a big place, and you're right. They're going to have pizza, they're going to have a buffet, they're going to have a family area back in the back with a lot of games and things. So it really should be a good family experience for people to go. They'll have the buffet, so it'll be another dining option for people to have. So we are looking forward to that coming in.
Yeah, and you kind of, the way I see it, it kind of goes hand in hand with some of the family-friendly things you've been talking about, whether that's, the pool or any other family outdoor area, because, again, you got the arcade experience there. Get the kids dried off from the pool. Let's go burn off some more energy, playing some games and winning some stuffed animals, right?
Right. Everyone loves stuffed animals. You bring up a great thing. The pool. We're on a fundraising campaign right now, and we're getting close to halfway there. Our goal is to get to $3 million. Right now, we're at 1.2. We have other ones that are actually, and most of those are relatively small donations. There's a couple in there, $250,000, 100,000, and we're very thankful for those. Those are great. And we have some other big ones that are looking at doing it. But with those big donors, those take time. But we are really happy with the fact that the fundraising has only been going on, I believe, for 5 months, 6 months, already at 1.2, and I believe by the middle of February it's going to be substantially higher than that for our new pool down there. But these aren't family things. You're just people just like to go to pools. But you look at this from the economic development and what's happening here in Marshfield. You'll have the new pool. You've got the brand new stadium over there at the high school, which is tremendous. And this year was the first year we could actually have playoff games, late end playoff games, there at the stadium, and that went over great. Then you got the Wenzel Family Plaza. You've got the baseball fields, and of course, so you've got all these kids that want to do these different things, and so now they're going to have this, arcade and the hotels going on. So economically, things are shaping up really well. Of course, the issue that we have is the same issue that our friends in Rapids, Wausau, Stevens Point have is our employers are really doing great, but they need more people. I mean, our economy here is really doing quite well. And we have entry-level jobs at PCA or Marshfield Door. You can go over there. They've got openings at $17, $18 an hour to start. And so those are good wages to start. And so economically, things are going well. Now, even when you have a great economy, they're still going to have some businesses that struggle. That's always going to be there. So because of the Mackey, Marshfield Area Chamber of Commerce and Industry, they do a lot to help our businesses. And so we're very optimistic about 2020.
In talking about attracting some of those workers for some of those big jobs, I know some cities and some areas have gotten creative about that, whether it's putting websites together, billboard campaigns in airports or things like that. I don't imagine you're going anything on that level just yet, but is there anything that the city has looked at from that perspective to try and help that cause?
Well, we're looking to do some of those things maybe later on in 2020 as we expand. We have right now our housing market is very strong. We have very low real estate inventory but a real high demand. We have a lot of apartments going in because our housing study showed that we needed some apartments, and I believe there's 400 to 500 apartments going in. And then the city just did a housing incentive program to help some builders because we don't have a lot of real estate that is available to build. I think we have like 37 lots. We actually have like 85 lots, but some of them are landlocked. So we've actually got 37 that are actually buildable, but that doesn't mean that the owner of that land wants to sell it. But realistically, we got 37 properties and we're average building between 13 and 15 properties a year, which means we have a 2-year supply. And so we're looking at ways to expand some of the area because what we want to do is attract more people to come live in Marshfield. And that it's a great place. I mean, great schools, both private and public. We're very lucky here. We have, elementary, middle school, high school, tech school, university, all in one city. And so we're very lucky in that perspective. And so now what we got to do is get more people to come live here because we get on average, our biggest employer is the clinic. And we get on average about 14,000 unique visitors to Marshfield a day. So a lot of people coming in to work here. So all of our economic indicators are looking very positive.
So is it safe to say then that maybe housing is something that's going to be a priority here in 2020, or is you may be thinking about going in a different direction there?
No, housing is absolutely going to be. We want to make sure, we just did at the Planning Commission the other night. I was very happy to see, we did a housing study on affordability. And not only do we have nice homes and whatnot, but there also our affordability is right where it should be. It's affordable for folks to live here. And we've got diverse homes here, anywhere from $60,000 to $70,000 for a home up to $400,000 or $500,000. And so it's a diverse city. and it's just a great city. Right now, everything's going very well.
And then as far as some of those apartments, you said about 400 new units going up. Do you have an idea of the range and the kind of units that you're putting up there?
They're all, some of them are over behind the high school, and those are going up very quickly. And then there's other ones that they're just, it's amazing how fast they're going up. Back behind Walmart. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. And they'll be brand new, and so they'll be in, they'll be in great shape. So it could be for, maybe it's for people that are, folks need to get that big 3-bedroom. Maybe they have a family, and maybe there's situations where people are tired of having the bigger house and kind of ready to downsize a little bit. There'll be walking trails in there, and very close to shopping and whatnot.
Yeah, of course, all that stuff, part of that puzzle that you've got to put together as mayor to make the city look just, as attractive as possible to new residents, like we've said.
Yeah, absolutely. And what we have a fair amount going on in the north end, and we're trying to, the Wenzel Family Plaza and a lot of, our downtown is doing great. There's more and more businesses staying open later, staying open on the weekend. We have a new Uptown Coffee down there, the escape room, and there's a lot of entertainment going on down there, which is fun. And we're very happy that the pool is staying in the south end because we want to make the city stable. We don't want all the commotion, if you will, going on in one area. So, in our south end businesses where the pool's going to be, we've got a beautiful zoo there. And a lot of people don't know this. Our zoo exhibit for the bears, I got a chance to go over there. It's I think one of the perks about being mayor. Go over there and feed the bears, and that was, oh my gosh, was that eye-opening. But our zoo exhibit here is the largest, or the bear exhibit is the largest bear exhibit in the country, and we have that right here. Mm-hmm. So we have a lot going on in the south end too. So the key thing is to keep it balanced and to keep it moving forward and growing.
And one more before we let you go then. Obviously, infrastructure projects have been a hot topic as of late. I know you've done some creative things to get the most bang for your buck when it comes to street projects. Here in 2020, anything big on the table that residents should be out for when construction season does get here? Because it will eventually, even if it seems like it'll last forever.
Right.
It'll be a while.
There's 2 seasons here in Wisconsin, right?
Yeah.
Winter and construction. This year is, we try every year. Dan Connect, who is our public works director, and Tom Turchi of Streets, they are just simply brilliant with how they have what roads need to be done. And we put on a system onto our website where people can go see what projects are going to be done, when they're going to be done, the cost, and why it's being done. So they can really see what's going on, and when their home gets on that list. Dan and Tom have graded every street. Every street has been graded. I believe on a scale of 1 to 10, so they know which one to get to. And so in the past, we just had this past year, we had North Central Avenue done. You must have seen that coming in.
It's much better.
You didn't have to.
No dodging potholes at all.
No dodging potholes. So that is much better, and we're going to work on those. We try to get to the streets where are traveled the most, but we still have to take care of those residential streets that are smaller. It's all a balancing act. So every year we look to do about $2 million of road work just right here in the city.
And folks can go online to the website and see just exactly what's on tap then.
You can go right on our website, and you could take a look at each year is laid out, what road projects are going to be done, full reconstruction, mill in place, when they're going to be done, and the cost. So it's out there for full disclosure.
Don't know that there's many municipalities that do that, so that's something that's great for Marshfield.
No, and what's interesting, part of the reason I did it, when I first got elected mayor, I wanted a 5-year plan on this thing, and I met with Dan, and I have a lot of respect for Dan. He's brilliant. He says there's too many variables that can happen. So a 3-year plan we can commit to. The reason I like having it out there is then it holds us in the city accountable. Because too many times I heard, they said that they were going to do this road now for the last 10 years. Once you put it up there on the internet and see, you got to do it.
The internet does not forget.
It does. If it's on the internet, it must be true.
Absolutely. Well, Mayor Bob, we always appreciate the time. Thanks for having us, and we'll look forward to chatting again later on in the year.
Thank you.